And welcome back to Hannity. Now that Officer Casebolt has taken personal responsibility for his actions in the aftermath of the out-of-control Texas pool party, well, it's time for others involved in this incident to do the same. Here's part of my interview last night with 18-year-old Adrian Martin. He denies doing anything wrong when he ran up on Officer Casebolt in the video. Watch this. It looks to me like you're trying to get in the way of the cop doing his job. And then he comes out. He doesn't, from his perspective, he doesn't know if you have a gun or a knife or what you're doing behind his back, does he?
No, sir. But as you can see, like I said, we are on an incline. And my friend accidentally bumps me twice, which makes it look like I'm charging toward the officer. But as you can see in the video, I slipped and backed up immediately. I wasn't being provocative. I had no intention on charging the officer whatsoever. Here now with reaction from the Black Lawyers for Justice, Hakeem Abdul-Muhammad, and Fox News contributor David Webb. Mr. Muhammad, I look at the video, it's very clear. Police is working on this young woman. There's a long incident. We just had an eyewitness that saw the whole event. There's a lot more that's not on tape, that wasn't seen. They come up behind him, and as you can see, they're right in that officer's grill. They're in that 2-foot zone right there, very, very close, doing a little dance, getting the officer's attention. They're right near his gun. What do you expect an officer to do if he doesn't know if they have a knife or gun?
Well, first of all, let's put it like this. It was Apostle Paul who said, when I was a child, I act like a child and did with childish things. Now that I'm a man, I put away childish things and I do what a man do.
What does that have to do with the answer? What does that have to do with my question?
Oh, just straight up. I'm not fit to make nobody bun because, first of all, we don't need no superheroes. As you know, I prosecute police officers because I just come out of Baltimore with Miss Mosley and got 6, and I'm after this guy too, so I'm not fit to let you put nothing on these kids.
The issue is, why did these two...
I told you that they kids, first of all. Didn't you hear what I said? They're kids. And first of all, this superhero had no reason to run up on him.
I gotta tell you,
him and do what he done.
I'm trying to take this segment seriously, Sean, but
all right, I'm
finding it hard to take you even seriously in a discussion on this.
First of all, you know you got to teach people like grown folks. First of all,
how about you let me speak?
Why don't you let me? Because you asked me a question. Do you want me to finish or not?
Okay, go ahead.
Are you gonna cut me off?
Go ahead.
All right. I was quoting to you what Apostle Paul said, that when he was a child, he did childish things. The officer evidently wasn't prepared for what he was doing. Because first of all, I've been in law enforcement for over 40 years. I'm a specialist. Now, there's no way if the black man, I would have ran up on them kids and did what he done. It's wrong.
Let's let David respond.
Okay. The last thing he said is what matters here, Sean. The fact is that whether you agree or disagree with the officer's actions, which should be, as we've talked about, should be looked into. When you've got someone in your periphery and you don't know what's going on, and they're on that side, it doesn't matter whether they're black, white, young, old. You know that you have something behind you. That's a human reaction. You don't have to be a cop to do that.
They're not just behind you. They're within looks like 2 feet.
Right, but you don't have to be. The point I'm trying to make is this is a human reaction. On top of that, you now have an officer with a weapon, which means an officer is also charged with maintaining control of his weapon. So we can have this specious debate, these specious arguments, but the reality is he drew his weapon. Okay, you can look into that. He didn't point it, he readied his weapon, and he went back to what he was doing. By the way, the other officers followed those kids, so there were other people making judgments. They decided they need to find out what was going on.
Wrong. He chased those children around that tree.
On the video.
He chased those children around that tree, so he had a banished firearm. He chased them. Look at the video good.
The two other officers ran after him.
And he pursued those children. It's wrong what he done.
Two other officers come up. He says something. Now the other officers run after the other kids. That's what I'm talking about. Means that they were following up, which is what they're supposed to do. That's their job. If you've been in law enforcement, then you understand that your job is also to protect the community.
David,
that means if you have a potential threat,
nobody died.
It if you think
nobody was shot. Nobody was injured.
Right.
No serious lasting harm.
Yes, it was. Those children was injured. Those children are scarred for life.
No,
my people come here on the bow of the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and the good ship Jesus. Those children are scarred. There's no way you're supposed to abuse your authority with a child and do what he did to the children.
Let me tell you something. Those kids are not necessarily scarred for life, and what you do is you don't deal with the real issues.
Let me come to your house and jump your fence. Let me chase your children with a gun. Let me stand on your daughter's back. Let me chase guns. Let me do some stuff like this at your house and see how you like it.
All right, we're gonna real quick. We gotta go.
The problem we have here is in all this discussion around this case, we have not heard from the parents or other children there. There's a responsibility by the community, by the police department. Where are those parents of those kids? Why were 14-year-olds involved in this kind of situation?
We got to leave it there. Thank you both.